We are set.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have called you here today to alert members and well-wishers of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), patriotic and well-meaning Nigerians, as well as lovers of democracy and good governance, on what we consider the clear and present danger in the failed All Progressive Congress (APC) and some ethnic-based regional opinion leaders induced debate on whether the presidency of Nigeria should be zoned to the south or to the north. Our press conference here is a clarion call to all party men and women, youth and elders, to be aware of the kill of the failed APC in its attempt to confuse the issues, shift the debate from performance and good governance to ephemeral and mundane issues of zoning and rotation. We will have ignored the evil machinations of the failed party, but evil thrives where good people keep silent. We therefore have a burden duty driven by a sense of responsibility as beneficiaries and contributors to Nigeria's democratic experience since 1999. Gentlemen of the press, never in the history of Nigeria have its citizens been this despondent and demoralized. Never have we been this divided, even in the old northern region. We are therefore here today as concerned leaders from the defunct northern region of Nigeria because we believe, and strongly too, that Nigeria is redeemable from the near mortal swipes it has received from our 6 years of APC misrule, maladministration, and bad governance. Under successive years of military rule, culminating in conditions that our leaders then considered unbearable and intolerable, particularly in the General Abacha low-cost years, our leaders came together to form the G18 and later G34, which was the embryo in whose crucible our great party, the People's Democratic Party, was hatched. Leaders across ethnic, geographical, religious, and social divides with a clear ideology of unity and prosperity of Nigeria undertook, at the risk of lives and limbs, to remove the Leviathan that was the goggled, once evil, despotic regime. These leaders, and indeed Nigerians and the entire world, believe that no regime could be worse and no dictator was brutal. Nigerians, well, their hoarse voices ascended to the high heavens, and the hand of God came down on June 8, 1998. In the new dawn, Nigerians became impatient. They clamored for democratic air. They wanted a regime where they were free, where their government would be afraid of the people and not the people afraid of the government. A true democracy where the citizen is king. Our leaders and great patriots and men of conscience form the People's Democratic Party, a party for all Nigerians, locating power in the people to make themselves prosperous. Nigerians, ever grateful and ever loving of democracy, gave the People's Democratic Party their votes in a landslide victory. the PDP formed the government at the center and in many states. The People's Democratic Government, from the ashes of despotic rule, tyranny, and oppression, began the difficult work of rebuilding the nation and rescuing the brutalized psyche of Nigerians. The people, in their prosperity and freedom for 16 unbroken years, kept faith with the People's Democratic Party. The APC, devoid of any reasonable basis for snatching power from the PDP, embarked on a blaze of propaganda. Its entry point, just as it is trying to do again, use rotation of the presidency to hoodwink the people. The APC incited Nigerians against former President Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, accusing him of hijacking the presidency from the North. It accused PDP of insecurity, deliberately instigating division by injecting a gargantuan dose of hate into the badly polity. It sowed wind of hatred, and today it has forced Nigeria to reap the whirlwind of death, a climate of insecurity and poverty. It is our desire to join it is not our desire to join the zoning debate because, as we have pointed out above, it is a poisoned chalice calculated to shift attention and focus away from the mountain of fake, failed promises like the pyramid by ShopRite. However, it is important in providing the world that it is a sham to point out that what they pass as rice paddy is so dust. In a democratic setting such as ours, particularly so in our very democratic PDP, zoning and rotation at no time in our history has taken the place of the democratic and constitutional to seek any elective office, including the presidency. Even when the founding fathers of the party were alive, Alhaji Abubakar Rimi, Chief Alex Ekweme, and the like of Chief Solomon La was allowed to have his way, and the leaders and party members, through their vote, had their way. Why is this important to recall? It is because the leaders and founding fathers negotiated the issues, considered the individual, and even up to the last vote that was cast of those at those conventions. It was a democratic negotiation, devoid of threat and intimidation. The power to decide always was allowed to lie with the people. That is why our slogan is power to the people. Let the people decide always. What mattered most to the founding fathers and leaders was getting the right candidate who was sellable, formidable, and had capacity to assure of good governance and promote democracy. Northern leaders at the time, based on the wise decision to promote equity, fairness, justice within the party, allow for a north-south power rotation. Hence, President Olusegun Obasanjo's 8 years in office. Their party faithful. The choice of Obasanjo was strategic. Obasanjo was the one the founders and leaders of the party believed could win the election, and power would be handed over to him because of his military background and international repute. He was also sellable to all Nigerians and detribalized. Therefore, what they did then, accords with the point we made earlier about the candidate being formidable and sellable. Unfortunately, Obasanjo handed over power to the late President Musa Yar'Adua, who unfortunately spent only 2 years and answered the call to the great beyond. President Jonathan thereafter took over and spent 6 years, which made the South to have 14 years in power at the presidential level. This was why in 2019, leaders of the party, in their great wisdom, zoned the ticket to the North. If the candidate had won and spent 4 years, even 4 years, the North would still have had only 6 years of 20 years of PDP rule. Where then is the equity, fairness, and justice within the party in denying the North the opportunity to vie for the ticket of the PDP? We leaders of the party from the defunct Northern region are not unmindful of the fact that the Southeast especially has a major claim to the presidential ticket within the party. However, we are also aware that some parts of the former Northern region, like the entire North Central, which is sometimes called Middle Belt, and the Northeast also are major claimants, not having been in the saddle since the return of democratic rule in 2019. This is why, 1999, this is why we salute the political sagacity, deep intellectual commitment, and determined push by the national chairman and the National Working Committee to rescue the nation from the suffocating pincer grip of the APC-led administration. This, the NWC, has demonstrated its resolve not to deny any geopolitical zone from vying for the presidential ticket. In the light of that resolve, enjoin all party members to do everything in our power not to disenfranchise any zone, as our chief goal is to take over the presidency and rescue Nigerians from the intolerable misrule of the APC before they crash our nation on their pyramid rock of misadventure and clandestineness. Their party faithful, the APC, wants us to get stuck in the quagmire of a needless, endless, and meaningless debate on zoning of the presidential ticket. We stand by our leaders, the NWC, and the neck of our great party, led by our national chairman, Dr. Aisha Ayu, in their resolve not to disenfranchise any zone, but to search with our political magnifying glass the most credible, competent, and formidable candidate that can kick out the APC bull out of the China shop. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What I told you clearly in the course of the press conference is that our party, NWC, our neck, the NWC, has taken a position that the presidency of the People's Democratic Party is open to all Nigeria and to all zones, and we stand by that position.
the background of the speech that was read by our leader was clear. I don't think there's any ambiguity with regarding the position, as regards the position of the party, the PDP. We, as you can see, are also leaders in our own right. We are all from the north, and we always will toe the line of our party. The point we believe the leader is making here is straightforward. That as much as we would like to be part of the process, what we are seeking is that let there be a level playing field for all Nigerians. The issue here does not have to do with the South or the North. If you paid attention to what he said regarding the way PDP had zoned their offices, especially the presidency, and those that have occupied that position over the past 20 years, you will see that the South has taken the better chunk of it. But that is not the issue as we speak. What we are saying is that Nigerians are yearning for good governance. Nigerians are saying, to hell with wherever anybody that is going to rule us is going to come from. Let us have a credible person that will unify the country, that will remove us from the abyss or the precipice that we have found ourselves. That is what we are saying. Let it be thrown open. The sentiment of who takes power, whether it's the southern president or a northern president, is not an issue. We must follow what Nigerians want. That is our position as leaders from the north. And that is why we are here today, to appeal to the elders of the party from the other side of the country, not to inflame the polity by being sectional. We've had presidents from Obasanjo came from the southwest, Jonathan came from the south, the south-south, 8 and 6, this was 14 years. So, and in any case, we are not APC. We are talking about the PDP position. We are not interested in what the APC has to offer. It is none of our business. And that is the reason why we are here today. I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
Let me digress. Thank you very much. Please, I want us to go to what our leader read in page 4, second to last paragraph. If I may read.
Okay.
My name?
You mentioned your name.
Oh, okay. My name is Honorable Babashew Age, MFR, former Deputy Leader, Federal Reps. So I'm referring us to the second to last paragraph in page 4 of what our leader read. This is why we salute the political sagacity, deep intellectual commitment, and determined push by the national chairman and the NWC to rescue the nation from suffocating pincer grip of APC-led administration. This, the NWC has demonstrated in its resolve not to deny any geopolitical zone from vying for the presidential ticket. In the light of the resolve, we enjoin all party members to do everything in our power not to disenfranchise, I repeat again, not to disenfranchise any zone, as our chief goal is to take over the presidency and rescue Nigeria from the intolerable misrule of the APC before they crash our nation on their pyramid rock of misadventure and cluelessness. So if we can understand that paragraph well, I think it will equally help in answering your question. Thank you very much.
1999, when the pressure was on those that were at the helm of affairs, zoned the presidency to the north, where Obasanjo was almost handpicked from the southwest. We still had a few northerners, like Rimi and the rest of them, that insisted that no, it must be a level playing field. And the likes of Rimi contested, if you recall. Now, we've gone beyond that. What we are insisting here is that we watch the news, we listen to our constituents, we feel the pulse of everybody. And what Nigeria wants today is a change from the norm. It's a change from poverty. It's a change from ethnic jingoism. It's a change from, asking us to be divided deliberately. Look at, there's so much insecurity. A situation where people cannot even be called terrorists. The bandits are all over the place terrorizing the country. They cannot even be labeled as terrorists because some kind of ethnic, sentiment. We don't want that kind of leadership. What we are saying is we need that one person that would be selfless, that would be visionary, that will unite the country, that will make us one. And that is what we are looking for. We that are seated today in conjunction with the National Working Committee, the National Executive Committee, are insisting that provide a level playing field. That is the only way we can get the best out of us. You can zone it to the south-south and you bring a non-entity that will come and worsen the situation. So where does that leave us? We must rise above those ethnic sentiments. We need the best to rule us. So our position is that let us allow a level playing field. Let the best people come forward, we will elect them, and Nigerians will be better for it.
To ensure that PDP wins in 2023, we'll have to do it. And the question which you are specifically asking, the zoning of PDP is 8 years. The first shot is 1999 to 2007. Then the second one is supposed to run between 2007 and 2011. But the way the God has it, there was a broken tenure. So Yar'Adua served for 2 years. Jonathan was supposed to, ideally, he was supposed to complete the tenure of Yar'Adua and the zoning returns to the north. But because of the constitutional right of President Jonathan, Northerners stood to support him because that time he contested against President Muhammadu Buhari. So we didn't look at North or South. We looked at party politics. We supported him, and he won. And that is why he took up to 6 years plus 8 years, 14 years. And we shouldn't lose the sight of the fact that it is party politics. What is of concern to us may not be what is of concern to the other party. By the time that we fielded Jonathan in 2015, why didn't APC field a Southerner in 20? They didn't in 2015. They fielded a Northerner, and that got them victory.
Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.